Hello, welcome to our presentation on Operation EGGO. Operation EGGO is a product founded by Ivan Remoli, our project manager, Ryan Campisi, which is me, the business analyst, and Apollo Levy, software developer. So what is EGGO? Not to be confused with Eggo waffles, EGGO is an acronym standing for Environmental Graphical Game of Organisms. Basically, we're creating a virtual reality simulator where you can interact with organisms that you otherwise wouldn't be able to find out in the real world. What is EGGO's goal? EGGO makes it easy to teach kids about different ecosystems through a fun, interactive virtual reality experience. It also gives children the ability to experience stuff that they wouldn't be able to for an affordable price. So we ran a survey to see how many people agreed with the schooling system and how they teach on ecosystems. And according to our survey, most people do not feel that schooling systems are teaching enough about ecosystems, which shows that our product would be very helpful for this audience. And then we also asked, is the price of field trips expensive? The reason we asked this was because most people aren't able to see these type of ecosystems because the schools aren't able to take them there. So since we have it in virtual reality, they'll basically be able to be there. They wouldn't be able to experience this. So too expensive, you see, is the most common answer, with indifferent being very close. So who can use EGGO? Students can use EGGO in schools to learn. Teachers can use it for their students, or they could even use it themselves. Parents can use it. Environmentalists would find it very helpful. Gamers even. We have an achievement system. It's fun for everyone, and everyone else. So EGGO is for everyone. So here's some of our strategies to market. So we will be using social media apps because one of our target demographics is children, and most children are on social media. So social media apps like Snapchat, Instagram, anything like that would be easy for us to advertise, and we can get it to a wide range of kids. We will consider partnering with EGGO waffles because we could mutually benefit each other, and because we took their name, they can't sue us. We will directly partner with school districts, basically to get our EGGO product in classrooms all around the country. We will advertise occasionally on television to get an older demographic, whether it be parents or teachers, because EGGO is for everyone. And another thing that we were thinking about is partnering with Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, to get them to make a skin for our game, therefore also increasing our sales.
Hey, I'm Apollo, and I'm going to start with the EGGO user stories. And as you can see, one of our main demographics is a teacher. And as a teacher, they want a fun, engaging, educational game so that their students can learn more about plants and animals in different ecosystems. So as you can see, teachers have a lack of resources when it comes to teaching about ecosystems and the environment. And that's the main problem that we're trying to face with our product. For our second user story, you can see that as a parent, they want a fun educational game, and that also teaches their children about the environment and is affordable. So parents are responsible for the future of our generation, and they want the next generation to be the best that they can and conserve the environment in any way that they can. And part of conserving the environment is being educated and learning about the environment. In order to make this possible, these are our futures of EGGO. Number 1, smooth user interface. We always want the user to feel nice and always have a good time when they're starting up the game so that they get the best experience possible. Smooth control system. Whenever you're playing a game, you never want to be frustrated, especially when you're trying to learn or when you're trying to enjoy it. So we want a smooth control system that will aid education and relaxation while you're playing the game. Fully designed and realistic ecosystem map. One of the most important things about learning is getting to know the actual thing. If we were misrepresenting the environment and nature, that wouldn't be learning about the ecosystem. That would just be fake learning, and we don't want to send a bad message. Interaction with the environment and organisms. In order to take learning about them to the next level, you have to get involved with them. In order to get involved, we want to make it come to life and feel like you're actually there with the plants and animals. That's one of the best ways to teach because it uses more of your brain in order to take in the information. Progressive achievement system. One of the best things about learning is the accomplishments that you complete. If you want to learn something, you'll always have a goal in mind that will help you get there. And it's also fun to be able to complete something, and you can always say that you did something, you learned something. Customizable settings. One of the ways that we will improve the user experience is being able to control various settings in the setting menu so that they can put it to their wants and needs so that they can get the best education and the best experience that we can offer them. Software development tools. The most important part of this project is finding out how we can make and implement the product. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. We're going to use Unity 3D with C# to develop the game. Unity 3D is one of the best virtual reality coding softwares on the market. And since we are also experienced with C#, that'll make it good and easy for us to be able to implement what we want to design and put it into the game. And for the database, we're going to use SQLite. We've already learned SQL, so this will be an easy transition in order to implementing in our game. This will be used for the progressive achievement system that we're implementing so that we can store the user data and use it during each run of the game. The IDE we're using is Visual Studio 2019. We've been using Visual Studio for 3 years now, so we know the ins and outs of how to use it and what we can do on it. Software architecture. For the software architecture, we are using a modified OSI model for design architecture. This will allow us to have different layers so we can easily visualize what we are doing with our architecture. Clients will use the user interface to interact with the application layer, which will let them play the game. So basically that means that the user interface will be interacting directly with the application layer, which will be controlling the data that the user uses to play the game. The database will give the game data to this layer so it can function. So we are using the SQLite database. So the database will be directly linked to the application layer, which holds the data for the game. The session layer will store runtime information to store in the database and also starts the runtime by authorizing and authenticating the user. So the session layer basically controls the session that the user is playing on. After the user is done playing, the session layer will store all of the relevant runtime information into the database so it can be used during the next run for the progressive achievement system. And as for the future of EGGO, we want to take it to the next level. We want to add online and local multiplayer so that you can take learning about the environment with your friends and family and classmates. This will increase the immersion and it'll make the kids have even more fun so they'll learn even more while they're playing our game. Extra downloadable maps. In order to increase the amount of education we can provide, we will add different biomes and maps with different organisms and plants so that we can teach about different areas other than the one we've already made. Education story mode. This is almost like a progressive achievement system that will guide anybody that wants to be guided through the different biomes, and will teach them about the different biomes in an even more immersed way. And this will allow for the better education of the students.